Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another brand night on Wednesday night. This is Sherry Danzig speaking, and I'm excited. We have a great topic and a great speaker tonight. Every week, we talk about a particular product or a product category or a product theme, and tonight we're talking about Nikken's products from the perspective of being an athlete, and that's being, a couch warrior or whatever that's called, all the way up to being a professional athlete, which we've attracted a bunch of professional and even Olympic athletes over the years to Nikken's product line simply because of the magnitude of what these products provide. And with that, we actually have a professional athlete amongst us who's going to be speaking, and that is Herb Rapp, who has been a part of Nikken for 30 years while teaching tennis in Southern California. And you got into the US Open, if I remember correctly, just a few years ago,
Yes,
right?
I did.
So he's had an amazing business. He had, in 6 months, he had built really quite a very strong team, and it's allowed him to travel the globe and introduce people all over the world about balanced life. To know Herb is to know that he's very passionate. You're about to find that out yourself. He can't not talk to people about these products and what they've done for himself, for his family, and for so many people. So, Herb, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to get the slides queued up here and just make this look a little nicer. Okay, Herb, take it away.
Thank you. I just share that I grew up in Illinois and was blessed to get a college scholarship to go to Florida State University. And I had a double major there, blondes and tennis. And during the time I was at Florida State, 7 years after I began playing tennis, I was blessed to play the U.S. Open, both singles and doubles in 1969. That was the second U.S. Open. And I wish I'd had the Nikken products back then because my back was always tight and problematic. So um, I have been studying for the last 30 years while I enjoyed the benefits of Nikken and all their different technologies, the concept of connecting, staying healthy, and how does that tie into nature? And when Nikken came along, it was a real aha moment for me to see what the products did when it came to relaxing the tension that's in the body, the different products where you could put them in your shoes, you could put it on your back. Your knees become a problem in tennis and so many other sports. So connecting with what you're dealing with in sports is just a wonderful thing for Nikken because who doesn't want to be involved with playing a sport if they can? And now the game of pickleball has come along, and the baby boomers are embracing pickleball unlike anything they've ever embraced. Most of the players are over 60 years old in the game of pickleball, and it's the fastest growing sport in America right now. Now, if you notice these five elements for life, these are all very important for sports. Okay, take a look at air. Breathing is important. In fact, there are coaches for how people breathe, and most sports have a very significant benefit. And of course, we're talking about us having clean air in our homes. Our air system is a fine HEPA filter. One of my favorite topics to share with people on sports world is the water. Hydration is critical. It's the number one thing I share with people that are wanting to be good in competitive tennis is because if you're just 2% dehydrated, you lose 20% of your energy. And our water, because it's been magnetized, 3 times more of it exits the stomach. So you can stay hydrated. And the proof is in the pudding. If you notice my skin at 77, the wrinkles haven't come back after 29 years of starting drinking this water. And people can't believe I'm in my 70s and I got the flexibility of a 15 or 20-year-old, and it's because I'm hydrated. Remember, folks, aging is primarily dehydration and our water system is the best. Put the minerals back where they belong and magnetize that water and get it really clean. And sleep is the number one thing I have found for myself is 85% of your repair is when you're sleeping. So sleeping in our sleep system puts you in a natural environment of magnetic field and the increased fluid movement in the body when you have the magnetic pad to sleep on and the comforter with the three technologies of the negative ions and far infrared and magnetics. It's a cocoon of energy that makes you feel like you're getting a hug all night long. And Nikken does a beautiful job with nutrition. I take all the nutritionals and have ever since they've had them, and my body just feels so. I mean, it feels so good. It's the most incredible thing created on earth is the body, and you've got to take care of it. And now with the Golden Gut, in addition to the collagen product, I do the collagen once or twice a day for 3 or 4 months now, and my skin is better at 77 than when I was 40 years old. That's a pretty cool testimonial. And you can say anything you want, but if you can have people see your skin and it's just wrinkle free and the tennis pro and in the sun 62 years, it's very exciting. And when it comes to natural energies, I love all the products that you place on your wrist, around your neck, the flex for the back, the insoles for the shoes. And I always keep a little bag of those products in my car because if I talk to people, most of the time they're very excited to try something. And most people are having issues with their knees by about 55 or 60, if not sooner. So the mag steps, when the M strides have been around for a long time, but they're just way more valuable now because there's more people trying to be active, and that puts a lot of demand on the knees. When it comes to sleep, one bad night's sleep can cost you 60% of your immune system. And as I said, between 10 o'clock and 6 in the morning, a lot of times people can't get to sleep well because they have very bad habits when it comes to sleep. They'll watch TV right up until they go to bed. They'll have coffee in the afternoon. They'll eat a meal too late, especially meat, things like that that don't digest. So, Nikken has been understanding sleep for a long time, and I've been on the sleep system for 30 years now. And I'm 6'3". I can put my hands flat on the ground, standing straight up, and my back feels like $1 million. So I use the individual products, but the sleep system I think is the biggest reason I'm performing and still being able to play basketball and tennis and ski 4 or 5 hours a day. And I don't have to feel 77. Believe me, I don't want to feel 77. If I'm away from my products very long, I do feel it. Now, there's one of my favorite products that came along and yielded some benefit for me right away. I'd had back trouble for 29 years when I found Nikken. And that back flex, I wouldn't sell it for $500,000 if I couldn't get another one because that thing warms up the back. You can feel it in the first 2 or 3 hours. You feel that warmth. That's the blood flow increasing, and it doesn't take long, and you just don't have that stiffness. And you can wear it at night while you're sleeping too. You get that right on the spinal column all night long while you're sleeping. So there's all kinds of different athletes that have testimonials, but the most of them, Evander Holyfield's favorite product was the water. Johnny Bench had that back issue all the time, and he loved the back flex and the sleep system. And a lot of the athletes that really spoke up, Shannon Miller was one of the most decorated Olympians, and she actually became a business builder with us. And Svetlana Boykinskaya and a lot of the different gymnasts, they just fell in love with the flexibility they got from the Nikken products, both the sleep system and the personal products. Now, there's a beautiful thing right there, the waterfall. I just tell people, if you like to have water from the Rocky Mountains, this is the way to get it. That waterfall is not only great water, but it's a beautiful an addition to your kitchen, in my opinion. Some people don't like things sitting out, but that's a daggone purveyor of health. That is a way to stay healthy, and I love that waterfall. And it's just nice to have your body feel flexible and energy. And actually, just drinking that water, you can literally lift 8 to 15% more weight and jump up to 4 inches higher, unless you're white.
Now.
So that waterfall has been a lot of fun talking to people, and I have a little job selling hot tubs now, and I share with people that waterfall, and I think I've sold 400 some now to people that are going to get dehydrated in a hot tub. Now, this Dynaflex technology is our best rendition of the insole, and it really gets the tendons and ligaments in your feet flexible. And I'm very proud of my feet because most men my age, their feet look like the Dickens for whatever reason. But when you have these insoles in, the whole foot is getting 3 to 5 times more fluid movement through it. So this really helps the knees and the energy. Actually, the doctors say we start to die in our legs. And this is one way to stop that from being a problem. My knees feel like $1 million, and my legs, I have pretty close to the same muscle tone I had when I played the U.S. Open in 1969
Wow.
with that product for the last 30 years.
Wow.
Now, this little thing right here is a real storyteller. What's the new smoking? It's sitting. Sitting is the new smoking. And As a tennis pro, I didn't have to sit, but I'll be doggone. I'm sitting in a darn chair 5, 6, 7 hours a day now, and I would not have the job I have if I couldn't sit in a Kenko seat. These Kenko seats are wonderful. Two technologies, and I could drive from here to Las Vegas and get out of the car and still put my hands flat on the ground. And you just don't get the fatigue because basically what that energy does is whatever your brain's trying to do, it helps you do it. So if you're in the sleep system, your brain knows you're trying to go to sleep and it helps you go to sleep. But in the Kenko seat, you can literally feel like it's helping you stay awake. And I have a lot of truck drivers I've talked to and sold product to, and this is one of the biggest problems they have is staying awake. And that seat is fantastic. And any college student should have one of those seats to keep from falling asleep when they're trying to get those studies done late at night. Sleep your way, sleep the way nature intended. Well, you know what? If you go back to the very beginning of time, we didn't have asphalt, we didn't have electromagnetic fields, we didn't have all the lights, we didn't have computers and cell phones and TVs keeping us awake. And that's what you get. I mean, you get in our sleep system. And then one of my favorite products, which I've sold literally probably 1,500 of them, is the sleep mask. It clears your sinuses, rebuilds the collagen around your eyes, increases melatonin, lessens snoring and allergies, and improves your vision. And all those things have happened to me for 28 years. And in 28 years, I've probably missed less than 10 nights sleeping with it. I always take two with me because if you lose it, you just are miserable. So if I go to Mexico, I make sure I take two or three with me. But the sleep system, the pillows are amazing. Now, one of our doctors that worked with us early on said that the brain is the most important thing to magnetize at night because there's where all your decisions are made. Your knee doesn't say, "Send me energy. I got a sprain down here." You don't have an abrasion, and your place tells the brain, "Send energy." No, the brain makes every decision on healing. So you want to have your head in a pillow and a sleep mask. And a lot of times people are kind of unwilling to try a lot at one time, but the sleep mask and the pillow is a really good place to start because when the brain's doing well, your sleep will get better. And the sleep mask is priceless. Just having clear sinuses all the time. And most cities have tremendous allergens and things like that causing allergy problems. So I love that sleep mask. I send that as a gift to people. I send 30 to 50 of those a year just to people that I've met that have done something nice to me. I just say, this is something you need to have. And all the people in my company up at the corporate headquarters that I've sent them to, they love it that their eyes aren't worn out from the computer like they normally are when you're just looking at that computer screen all day. So that's a really cool place.
Talk about the far infrared, the comforter, and what that benefit does as an athlete.
The beautiful thing about far infrared is it makes your body alkaline. It helps with the process of energizing your body and detoxing your body, and it regulates the warmth. We have sleeves that go on the elbow, the knee, the shoulder, the wrist. No, not the shoulder. But the products work so good when you have an injury because you've got to get inflammation down before there can be healing. And the Kinkotherm is just fantastic. The blanket has tourmaline and magnetics and it has negative ions in there. But it's just puts you in an environment of a comfortable temperature. If it's a little bit warm in the summer, it'll pull heat away from you. But in the winter, like I said before, it's like a hug. That far infrared is. I had about a 23-year-old young man about 22 or 3 years ago said, "I feel like I'm getting a hug in that sleep system," and I love my sleep system. I thought that was a pretty cool response to the comforter.
Mhm.
But yeah, keeping the body in an alkaline environment, a high pH, not acidic, a high alkaline environment is one of the most important things for health. Cancer and diseases don't grow in anything but acid. They can't grow in an alkaline environment. So that is one of the big benefits of our Kenko seat, the far infrared comforter, our supports, and it's just wonderful. Don't forget the socks. The socks are amazing. I got about 25 pairs stored up in case we ever discontinue socks. The socks are incredible. I don't miss one day wearing the socks. I wear them to church even. It doesn't matter they're white. So I love far infrared. But here's a real exciting thing for all of you that are kind of looking at this and saying, wow, I got people I've got to talk to about this. And people aren't necessarily out there looking for something to do, but this is one of the most gratifying things you could do. I've been involved for 30 years. My sales and my team are over $750 million, and I've been blessed to have the resources to do a lot of traveling and make some choices for my lifestyle that I could do because the revenue's been coming in, and it's a fun thing to do. I think we're intended to help other people more than almost anything else in our lives. We help our family, but helping other people is one of those gratifying things. And you actually build a fraternity of people that are like-minded that you can actually talk to about life and not have to worry about politics or religion being a problem. In fact, whenever we get together as a wellness community, it's especially exciting because everybody's on the same page and we're all about love and doing good to other people. And that's been one of the biggest blessings of this business. Um, Most of my best friends are from my Nikken family of the last 30 years. Susan, you want to share the rest of that about the last quiz there?
So when you go on the website, if you're a guest taking a look at this, either live or the recorded version, we have the first thing you can do is take a wellness quiz, which is a feel-good quiz. And it's really fun and it gives you great information as to what is most important. It helps you to identify what areas of feeling good are you wanting to learn more about. And the site is interactive, so it'll send you, if you put in your email address, it'll send you more resources. So start with the quiz. That's a great place to start in taking a look at what Nikken has to offer and join us in some capacity in our global wellness community. So we want everyone to feel good every day. Thanks so much, Herb. That was fabulous. Do you have a particular story? I know you've kind of woven in a few things, but maybe to end with a particular favorite story about yourself as an athlete and how these products have supported you.
It reminds me of when I was a tennis pro in Southern Cal, and I had found Nikken and was just enamored beyond words with the benefits of the products. And at my club, they would let me play in the club championship tournament. And this was the open division of the club championship. And they always like to have the pro play, but most of the pros don't play too well. So I played in the tournament. I got to the finals, and I put magnetic discs on my shoulder. I had a Kenko seat on the seat. I had magnetic water on the bench. I had such an unfair advantage over my opponent that I did win in 3 sets. But you know what? As you play sports, your body tightens up, and the tendons and ligaments don't have much vascular system. So these other guys are getting cramps. And here, the guy, I was probably in my late 50s at the time, but I was playing against guys in their 30s who play 6 days a week. And so anyway, I had all my products. I had the necklace on, and I wore it for every. I've always worn a necklace ever since we had it. So yeah, I enjoyed winning that tournament. And now, as a 75-year-old or 75 division, I have a hell of an advantage over these other guys. I just don't play much tennis, but it's just to get out there and to be able to swing my shoulder. Most all tennis players have a rotator cuff problem, and I've got 5 power chips on my shoulder. I can hit the heck out of that ball. Still
Mm.
not terribly fast, but I don't have any pain in my shoulder. But yeah, that's my most recent favorite story.
Thank you. All right, we're going to stop the recording and then we'll open it up for some Q&A and to share some more stories. Thanks again, Herb.